This is the Cat Alpha keycap set from Keyrative. It's a PBT dye-sublimated black-on-white keycap set in the cat profile. At the time of this recording, it's available on KBD Fans for $76 US. Let's look at the cat profile compared to other keycap profiles. This is a tall, rounded, curvy profile similar to SA but not quite as tall. Each row is pretty similar in height to the OEM profile. However, the cat profile has a row 0. On Cherry, OEM, and SA, the topmost row, the one with the function keys, is the same as the one below it, the one with the numbers and backspace. They're both designated row 1. On the cat profile, the topmost row is taller and designated row 0. These are thick keycaps, about as thick as ones from Enjoy PBT and Geek Arc. The surface of these keycaps is quite smooth. There's no texture to it. There is some warpage in the space bars. The dye sub quality is inconsistent. On some keys, the print is nice and clean, but on others, it's smudged. I haven't been able to find any other mentions of this issue with Keyrative cat sets. Maybe I'm just unlucky? If you've got a cat set, please let us know in the comments how the dye sub quality is. It's not a huge deal though. In fact, when I initially used the keycaps, I didn't even notice it. I'm not a huge fan of the all-letter modifiers here. Some of the words are quite long and so they reach the edges of the keycaps. The arrow keys are a particular sore point for me. They don't really fit together since the legends vary so much in length. This keycap set will cover pretty much any keyboard layout with its 146 keys as long as it's ANSI. It does not have ISO support. It comes with 3 spacebars, 7U, 6.25U, and 3U. It comes with 6 shift keys, 2.75U, a pair of 2.25Us, 2U, 1.75U, and 1U. For the row 4 modifiers, that's the bottom row, you get a single 1.75U control, and then multiple 1.5Us, multiple 1.25Us, and multiple 1Us. You get system and function keys here. There's no windows or menu. Here are the navigation keys. You only get a complete set on row 0, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure what layouts will be able to use these. This set will not cover all combinations of the navigation column for 65 or 75% keyboards. I like my column to be delete, home, end, function. Unfortunately, most sets don't provide home and end on rows 2 and 3, so I just put page up and page down there. You could just put all row 0 keys on your navigation column, but this is a bit awkward on keyboards where the navigation column is right up against the rest of the keys. On something like a GMMK Pro, it might be okay since the column is separated. I couldn't find what color specifically the white on this is supposed to be, but comparing it to my Geek Arc black on white, which is matched to GMK's WS1, it seems to be a very slightly cooler white. Comparing it to the EPBTX Gawk black on white set, which is color matched to GMK's WS2, it seems to be slightly warmer. So it occupies a sort of middle space, although I would say it's closer to WS1 than 2. It's a bit hard to capture the difference, but I found that placing one keycap in the middle of another keycap set highlights the difference best. Here's a Cat Alpha key among the Geek Arc black on white set. And here's a Cat Alpha key among the EPBTX Gawk black on white set. Typing on the cat profile wasn't a big adjustment for me. I found it comfortable. Not too far off from Cherry, but I still do prefer Cherry. Let's listen to how this keycap set sounds on a KBD67 Lite with lubed Durock Palm Linears and then with lubed Glorious Pandas. And then we'll compare each of those setups with the Cherry profile set. A lot of people really like the sound produced by tall keycap profiles like SA and Cat, but personally, I don't. Cat Alpha sounds a tad hollow and plasticky to me. It doesn't sound bad, but ultimately I still prefer Cherry Profile's sound. There's another keycap set very similar to this one, also from Keyrative and also listed on KBD Fans. It's just called Cat Black on White, which is confusing since Cat Alpha is also black on white. So from here on out, we'll refer to them as Cat Alpha and Cat Symbols. The latter is more expensive at $89 US, but it also has more keys at 169 versus Cat Alpha's 146. This includes ISO support and Mac bottom row modifiers. Cat Symbol is color matched to GMK's WS1, similar to GeekArc Black on White, but again, I can't find any information on what Cat Alpha's white is supposed to be. Based on photos from each product's page, Cat Symbol looks warmer, but it's hard to base color from photos. So as far as color is concerned, I can't say for sure without having both sets in hand to compare. If anyone has both sets or has seen them side by side, feel free to sound off in the comments. I don't personally need ISO or Mac keys, but I also prefer the symbol modifiers. If there were a $76 US Cat set with Cat Alpha's smaller kit but with symbol modifiers, that would be the one for me. I bought this Cat Alpha set for the equivalent of around $87 US, and for that price, I would say it's not worth it. If you like the look of the all-letter modifiers, the sound of Cat Profile, and are okay with the possibility of the smudging issue, then I'd say it's a good buy at $76 US. If you need Mac or ISO support, then I think Cat Symbols is also a good buy at $89 US. What do you think of the Cat Alpha keycap set? Would you buy it? Maybe you already have. How has your experience differed from mine? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informative, or any other positive adjective, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching.